Today we're going to be talking about Spensa's scouting system. Spensa is a precision pest management company. We define pests in the academic sense of insects, weeds, and disease. We have data collection tools such as mobile apps and field sensors, but our goal is to create a system to allow you to find the most impactful problems, build stronger relationships, and ultimately more profit for you and your growers. We collect structured data and quantify the findings to prioritize discussions with growers and to allow you to inform your decisions with data. We offer a scouting app and a smart trap, but these are just components of a broader pest management system. Precision ag is getting a lot of attention these days, but the approach many folks are taking is to use technology to automate the role of the agronomist. Well, at Spensa, we believe that ag is hard and that the human expertise is essential. We believe the most productive approach is to use technology as a force multiplier for human expertise rather than a replacement for it. You hear system developers say things like, "Using data science, we understand your field better than you do." Well, in fact, we believe the problem isn't that you need to get smarter, you just run out of time. You don't need a digital agronomist, you need more hours in your day. Our scouting system helps you apply your expertise with greater effectiveness on more acres. We work on pest management because it's a large and often neglected problem. We recognize that this is an area that needs vast improvement in the industry. As a matter of fact, according to the USDA, 20 to 25% of crops are lost due to insect, weed, and disease damage, about a third from each group. We believe sensors and data science can improve this a couple percentage points. As we said, we want to help you find more problems in time to control them. At Spensa, our approach to modeling is to combine weather models with real, in-season, human-validated data. We've built growth stage models to really enable you to visit more corn and soybean fields during critical times such as the emergence, flowering, and tassel period. The model combines degree day and photo period models with actual growth stage observations that you make while scouting to give maximum accuracy. We predict the presence of corn disease by combining weather conditions with actual in-season scouting observations of the disease. Two conditions are necessary for disease to exist. One, the spores have to be present, and two, certain weather conditions have to exist for the disease to develop. We found that we can double the accuracy of our model above a pure weather model by taking into account nearby scouting observations to really understand where the spores are present. A key insight for monitoring insect populations was that economically important corn insects are moving on weather fronts across the country. By placing several Z-traps per county across the Midwest, we're able to monitor pest migrations and really help you understand which fields are vulnerable and should be scouted. These models do you no good if they're not actionable. We have created a dispatch tool that enables you to strategically prioritize which fields should be visited first and to seamlessly make assignments to scouts. We deliver crop growth stages and problem likelihood model through this tool to enable you to take action based on the risk. So let's take a look at how Spensa's Precision Dispatch tool can help you communicate more effectively to your team. Spensa's Precision Dispatch tool can be used efficiently to decide which fields scouts should go to and to quickly communicate those assignments to the scouts. On the left-hand side, we have the grower, farm, and field tree. Up along the top, we have a timeline with today's date selected. And in the center of the screen, we have a schedule for the day. Each row is a scout, and along with each scout, you can see their assignments for the particular day. Scheduling is really straightforward. You just grab a field from the sidebar and drag it to the scout. So you can schedule several assignments for this scout. You can reorder within the day. For instance, if a grower calls in and they have a time-sensitive issue that you need to service very quickly, you can grab that field and move it to the beginning of the day to the scouts that are nearby. We automatically calculate the drive time between each field. If you want to see how fully loaded a scout is for the day, you can move to the time-scaled view, where we estimate how long it will take for each scout to scout a field. Each individual scout has an average number of acres per hour that they cover. We just multiply the scout's average by the size of the field to estimate the time. Since we have the latitude and longitude of each field, we can ask Google for the drive time as well. We can see that this trip between fields will take about 16 minutes. Up at the top is a timeline that goes from 0 hours to 8. This allows you to schedule out a scout and visually estimate how many fields they can handle in a particular day. At the end of the day, you can review how well the scouts did. There's a checkbox on each trip that was actually taken. You can see for this scout that 2 trips weren't able to be taken by the end of the day. This scout had 3 that they weren't able to get to. At the bottom of the screen, you have the option to reschedule these unfinished trips for the next day or some other day in the future. When these are rescheduled for tomorrow, each trip is placed on the scout schedule for the next day at the beginning of the day. Precision dispatch can be used to be more strategic about visit order for fields. You can select tomorrow, and let's say you want to visit all of your fields that are at R2, and you want to check for corn rootworm. You can filter just to see these fields, and then you can schedule them out for this scout. If you realize mid-season that a particular variety is susceptible to disease or flooding, you can filter to just see fields where that variety or hybrid is planted and schedule those out accordingly. You can also sort out your fields by susceptibility to corn foliar disease. This is the first of many models that Spensa hopes to develop where we can predict the susceptibility of fields to certain problems. You can sort by likelihood of finding that disease and use precision dispatch to prioritize fields where you're most likely to find a problem. Well, let me give you a specific example. Since we collect structured scouting data, we have a somewhat unique perspective in the industry. Scouts found lots of corn foliar disease last year in southern Indiana, but 60% of it was actually found during the R2 growth stage or after. Well, this is too late to control and often ends up being an autopsy instead of an opportunity to save the grower money just by selling them more fungicide. We did an experiment to see how much this could be improved by simply changing the order in which you visit your customer fields. It turns out you can find around 90% of it in time to control simply by changing the order in which you visit your customer fields. For one retailer, this could result in $42,000 in increased fungicide sales for the retailer, and for the grower 2.5 times that in yield savings during the growing season. Our precision dispatch tool will get your scouts to the fields where they are most likely to discover problems early and often. Now, once you're in the field, we will help you collect high-quality, structured data that you can use to help your growers make quantitative spray decisions throughout the year. So let's take a look at a scouting trip. Let's walk the field and collect data using the mobile version of the Spensa Agronomic Platform app. The app detects which field you're in and records your path and position at all times. When you spot a problem like ragweed, for example, just tap the menu, select a problem, and pick the pest from the list. Take a photo and record some key pieces of data with a few taps, and you're done. The app automatically geotags your observation and you can keep scouting. Stand counts are just as simple. The app prompts you to take measurements that fit the crop you're scouting. Here we've recorded 19 soybean plants in a 36-inch radius. Our precision dispatch waypoint markers in the fields indicate where your agronomists request you to check for a specific problem. When you reach a point, you can tap on it to confirm whether the problem is present or not. Should you confirm that the pest is present, the app will have relevant questions ready for you to answer. In addition to pest and stand count entries, the mobile app allows you to record environmental problems as well. Let's record some flooding in the north part of the field. You can add custom notes to your observations, which your agronomist can see, and those notes can later be included in reports sent to your growers. When you're done with your trip, you can choose to add details such as severity or percent affected. The app then securely uploads your trip to the cloud, where you can review your observations from anywhere in the world, and more importantly, see the impact those problems might have on your yield. Our Scouting Insights tool takes your specific and quantified data of the weed, insect, or disease field observations alongside crop growth stats and it applies it to a known impact model for a specific crop. The economic impact model can then be used to predict the loss and projected treatment timings in your field. So let's take a look at a scouting trip example to better understand how this model works. Let's log into the Spensa AP website and you'll see all of your fields shown in the map and in the list. Let's pick the field you just scouted. In the left-hand sidebar, you can see the agronomic platform putting your scouting information to work. The economic impact engine uses pest severity, yield targets, crop prices, and other factors to calculate the projected losses. You can review your scouting trip by viewing the waypoints on the map or the individual time-stamped photos you took. The growers we know love to be able to evaluate the cost of their interventions. We realize that in the thick of the season, sales agronomists have more coming at them than they can really respond to. You can prioritize response times to scouting trips according to the total economic impact. A daily report can be sent to your salespeople with the results of the previous day's scouting trips and grouped by grower and prioritized by the total economics of the problems found. This enables your sales agronomists to have the most valuable conversations with your key growers. We want to help you build your relationships with your key grower customers. Now we do this by sending good-looking, data-rich reports that can have your brand right on the report. We can optionally show the path that the scout walked through the fields. So if the field's clean, well, you still get credit for checking that field. You can also show a summary report. Now these reports are run per grower and summarized either by insect, weed, or diseases for an entire season. You can also show the breakdown by species and can show how problems evolved over time, and you can see geographic trends in your area. You have a table at the top of the problems found, the fields that had the most problems and the related economic impact of these problems. At the bottom you can see a breakdown of the incidence by hybrid variety, which you can see a particular hybrid was more susceptible to disease than others. You can also view problems by crop rotation, and with this, you can ask yourself the question, do you get more insect problems in your fields by growing corn on corn? So let's take a look at how you can create a winning customized report. The Spensa AP lets you easily create visually compelling reports of scouting trips. You begin by selecting the trip we just took and expand the trip to see the details of what was recorded. All selected trips show up in the right-hand side as a list. Once you've selected the trip, you can preview its contents and tailor it to include only what you prefer. You can offer a condensed version, which allows for easy printing. Other options are to include or exclude the map, scouting path on the map, the trip summary, and specific details regarding individual pest observations. This ensures you're only sending out the information that your recipient really wants. You can enter an email of an important connection for a one-time report or set up a scheduled reoccurring report and send them directly from within the app. You can also print out reports to review with growers in person. Well, since you've been collecting structured data about problems in those fields, you can now zoom out and get a better understanding across your entire organization. You can see trends over time, and you can also see spatial patterns as well. You can see a breakdown by species to get a better understanding if a systemic problem is developing that you should make all of your scouts aware of. This also enables you to get on the phone with a grower who, well, perhaps is not a current scouting customer, or maybe whose fields you haven't visited recently, all of which to let them know that danger of a particular problem is in their area and that they should check their fields. So you're asking yourself, how will Spensa help us save money by using the scouting system? Well, we do this in 3 different ways, so let's break it down into 3 categories. First of all, we're going to help you find more problems. We're also going to help you operate more efficiently. And thirdly, we're going to help you strengthen your relationship with your growers. Let's take a look at each of these categories. Finding more problems is a very difficult task. By using our Precision Dispatch tool, this enables you and your team to strategically prioritize which fields your scouts should visit first and to seamlessly make assignments for everyone on your team. The savings part of this really pays off by delivering crop growth stages and potential and problem likelihood models. Through this tool, you can enable you and your team to take action based on the risk, which also equals savings for you and your customer. The second part of finding more problems really is once you've dispatched your scouting team, we will help you collect high quality, structured data that you can use to help your growers make quantitative and effective time-saving decisions in real time. The second category is about operating more efficiently. First of all, the economic impact engine models that we have can then be used efficiently and effectively to predict the loss and projected treatment timings in the fields around you. This engine drives real savings not only for the grower, but it also drives savings and profits for you as well. The second part of this is really about prioritizing and responding to scouting trips quickly and efficiently. Therefore, your salespeople are armed with the results from previous day's scouting trips, which we group by grower and we prioritize them by the total economics of all the problems found. This enables you and your sales team to have the most valuable and profitable conversations with your growers. This naturally leads into the last category about strengthening your relationship with your growers. We understand that growing and maintaining strong grower relationships is vital. We want to help you build your relationships by sending good-looking, data-rich reports with your brand front and center to all of your growers. And with the ability to see trends over time, this also enables you to understand any systemic problems developing that you should make your scouts aware of. This also enables you to get on the phone with a grower who perhaps is not a current scouting customer and whose fields you haven't visited recently, and to let everyone know that there's a potential danger of a particular problem in their area, all of which strengthens those key relationships with your growers. At Spensa, we want to help you find more problems by utilizing efficient tools that can go a long way to solidifying your relationship with your growers. This translates into savings and profitability for everyone. On behalf of the entire Spensa team, we want to thank you for your time. For more information or to schedule a demo, contact us at info@spensatech.com and be sure to visit our website at spensatech.com.